It's a nice little jingle, right?
It really is.
Everybody just humming along.
We really enjoy it. We hope you are at home as well. Hey, folks, welcome to Wake Up Charlotte to Go on a Thursday morning. We want to know this morning, do you think we should increase the speed limits? Yeah, I can't even get that out without Larry laughing. Do you think that we should increase the speed limits on interstates around North Carolina? Now, if you live in Charlotte, you might think that's a bonkers idea. But there is a proposal supported by a few people actually in the General Assembly in Raleigh right now. We don't know likelihood of it passing or anything like that. But so let us know. Do you think we should increase the speed limit? 70 to 75. Weigh in.
Larry is like passionate about this, guys.
Well, I mean, you drive in Charlotte and people drive 70 miles an hour where you should be going 35. Put them on the interstates, they'll be going 90.
Yeah, right.
There are too many accidents, too many speeding accidents, and there's not enough room to do that here. Now, some of those legislators are from the northeastern part of the state, Pasquotank County, up towards areas around Edenton, Plymouth. I used to go to school in East Carolina. I had friends that lived there. No one lives there. So
it's rural.
It's rural. Yeah. So you go 75 miles an hour, no one's around.
You don't have 10 lanes of traffic like we do on on parts of 45. You have the sort of the background here.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go over the details of what's going on here. So basically, this bill would increase. It'd be a 5 mile an hour increase. So it would go from 70 to 75. 41 states, though, have already jumped to 70 to give some like prior context as to where everyone else is at. But a new study is identifying what other factors are going to be impacted here. And so with the 5 mile an hour increase, it actually jumps the death rate on highways as well by about 8.5%.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's scary what just 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, and see, like, what's worth it? Like, you see a number like that, I feel like that immediately would kibosh it. I didn't like the idea just because it's from perspective. Like you said, if you're in the middle of North Carolina, it's like, oh, that's great. You know what? Hey, get from Raleigh to Charlotte much quicker. But when you slow the traffic down, especially going past the Queen City, doing traffic, it's incredible. That I will say that over the last year or two, the amount of incidents that we see each morning, each day, is going up exponentially. The amount of reports that we have of highways shut down from these crashes, the amount of rollover crashes that we have tonight, and the biggest reason, people going too fast.
Yes.
Right. And you're really not going to gain that much time, depending on what the commute is.
That's true. Yeah.
Right? You know, like if your commute is all of 30 minutes, I mean, the 5 mile an hour increase, what are you really getting?
Take a look at some of the comments.
So many. Oh, my goodness. I mean, when we first asked the question, it started out as like a resounding no. But then some others are kind of chiming in some like strike the middle type of thing. So that top left comment there, you know, a move over law. And maybe that would be better than, you know, increasing the speed limit to free up some of the congestion.
Yeah.
Other folks are just, leave earlier instead of driving faster.
I was going to say, I was still reading. Yeah, and to your point, I'm not sure 5 miles an hour is really going to make a difference on where you're going. And for the folks saying, you know, people already drive fast, you're right, they are, but then they'll just go even faster, I would assume.
Right.
Yeah,
and
absolutely true.
This middle comment, oh, man, it's going away. But people were bringing in the factor of distracted driving here, too. So saying that those who are driving fast.
You see the comment right there where they say,
yep, exactly.
I was involved in a situation on 485.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A terrible situation. And it was a much lower speed.
Uh-huh.
I was gone from here, Ben knows very well, for about 3.5, 4 months.
Wow.
Because of that. And that was going, I was going maybe 35, 45 miles an hour.
Because you were stuck in traffic at the time.
Yes, exactly. And imagine you put that at 75 miles an hour.
Right.
Sure.
That's why, I mean, it's devastating what can happen. And I don't know where these guys, why they came up with this and the logic behind it, going to 75 miles an hour, when you see the figures that the death rate increases so much. And, you know, I don't think they've ever driven in traffic here. Come down to Charlotte and spend about a week driving in traffic, what Chris has to report every day. I mean, it makes no sense. There's no logic behind it. I don't know where this idea came from to go to 75 miles. But people are driving crazy now. It's after COVID. It's like the world changed the way people are driving.
Like, I see no economic gain. Like, usually when there's a proposal, it's like, hey, we're going to do this because of this. Like, what really is the gain? Because we've already had so many deprecating factors that kind of stack against this. And there's an overwhelming response from all of you that Ben's about to read.
Here's, I was going to say, this first comment is great from, I'm not sure your first name, but Mr. White. The issue isn't with people going faster, it's the slower drivers and the drivers who make last-second lane switching decisions. You know what? I don't totally disagree with you, but the fact of the matter is those slower drivers and those people making last-minute decisions aren't going to change.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That will always be around.
You're going 75 miles an hour. How do you avoid that? How do you slow down going 75 miles an hour if they're making a quick lane change?
Totally,
Right.
and we know that's not going to change. Inherently, you could drive 90 on a road and be perfectly safe, but it's once you add in all the other people that the problems start to happen. Donna, absolutely not. People already traveled 10 to 15 miles an hour over the speed limit.
True.
Increase the speed limit, and you increase the illegal speed as well. To our prior point, no deaths will increase, and you just burn more gasoline. Yes. Dennis, what a stupid question. Dennis, we appreciate your participation. Adding to the conversation for sure. Emma, faster's not better, more causes, more accidents. Melissa, I think, jokingly say, why not? What could go wrong?
Very true.
Joy, no, people would just go faster. Everything will get worse. Eric says yes.
Oh, did he give some reasoning?
He did not.
Eric, come back.
Emma, I so miss Charlotte. And we miss you too.
We miss you too, Emma.
Yeah.
We
Hopefully
miss
you're
you too.
enjoying wherever
Come
you are
back
right
to Charlotte,
now.
Emma, but don't go over the speed limit.
Yeah, hopefully you have good traffic where you are.
And Key, you kind of brought up this point earlier, is I think what's really interesting about Charlotte traffic is you really have drivers from all of the United States that live here. That I come from the Northeast where we fly. Everything is much faster up there. If you ever driven in New York or the New Jersey Turnpike, it is cruising. So you have drivers with that mentality. Just look at the license plates, driving that fast. Meanwhile, you have the locals that are going a little bit slower. So it's the differentiating speeds, different driving times. That's why in Charlotte you have to be defensive. I'm saying this to your traffic guy. Be defensive, and then our point here, add more speed onto that. Not liking where my job is going.
The other issue is enforcement. There's less law enforcement out there. There's less numbers.
And someone did comment that.
Yeah, you don't have the highway patrol like they used to be. So if people are going over 75 miles an hour, if it's passed, there's no one out there to enforce it. That's another issue. So we have so many problems because we don't have the numbers. It's been reduced. I guess they just can't find the.
Well, we talk about almost every day about staffing problems at CMPD and Highway Patrol, and they have a problem already just keeping their ranks up, much less having something else for them to go after as far as speeders. Melody and Mary, will end with you guys both saying
No.
no. Okay, Emma, one more thing. Live in Cincinnati where they have highways surrounding the city. So
Wow, so you went from Queen City to Queen City.
Yeah, that's right.
That's awesome.
Right.
Way to stay in that realm.
All right, folks, continue to weigh in. Let us know what you think. Should we increase the speed limit?
We have one side.
No.
Let us know what you think, and we'll see you back here for a Friday edition of Wake Up Charlotte to Go tomorrow morning.